All right, guys, Mike here with the watch list video for Monday, April 15th. You can see the SPY kind of starting to roll over. I think I did the math and it was like at a 18-day low or something like that. The Dow was down 475, so a little bit ugliness starting to show here. Like this one day was nasty, chopped around for about a week and then it's starting to roll over. So, I mean, it feels a little bit of, there's some chinks in the armor finally. We'll see what happens. If you didn't make it to chat on Friday, we did have some nice calls. DJT, we were watching it for a bounce play. It did give one of our bounce plays that we look for, right? I called it out over the mic. The entry idea was 30.50. It ended up going, taking out the highs after it to 33.09. So from 30.50 to 33.09, about 90 cents risk. That did not stop out. INDO. I gave this idea over the mic also. 444 was about the area that I was looking at to enter, and it went to 594. I'll show you 5-minute candles here. Those of you in chat on a regular basis can already see why 444. I'll put the horizontal line there. Right there in that buy zone we look for, right? Called the FIs buy zone pullback, and again, it ended up going to 594 without hitting the stop. And then PRZO, which I think I typed this one out. I tried to do more over the mic lately, but I think I typed this one out. Let me go to 2-day. Now let me go to the daily first. So the other day I noticed that it had hit 104. So then let's go back to the intraday. I'll go 2 days, 5 minutes. And then early on in the morning it had topped at 95. So I had typed out over 95. We might take out that 104, right? And that's exactly what it did, and it went to 118. Percentage-wise, that's really nice. So there are a few highlights from the chat room on Friday. A lot of news this weekend. Again, I'm terrible at saying, oh my God, this happened, so this is what's going to happen to the market. You never know. The market almost never does exactly what you think it's going to do. So that's why I'm a day trader. I just take it day by day. And so here are, you know what, let me put up my notice. And again, if you're seeing my video for the first time, just pause this and read it. The gist of it, I'm a day trader, don't hold anything overnight. But I start with a list of stocks that I consider in play, right? So this is one of them, MNDR in play only because it's a recent IPO. You can see it's only been trading for 3 days. I will tell you, this was my number one stock if you were in the room on Friday that I was stalking. I don't know if I can do this right. Okay, so this was the opening candle, and I had pointed out in chat that it topped out at the whole number 12, right? So I'm thinking, and it's going sideways, sideways, sideways. So I love it back through 12. There was another chart catalyst above that. And this isn't an errant tick. It actually did this. It fell to 1017, and then ends up ripping through the high of day. And I saw it happen, and I never got involved because this freaked me out, right? So it was one of those things I didn't get involved. Let's go back to the daily. So Thursday's high was 12.29. That was right there. So now if you remember the intraday chart I just showed you, back through 12, on that intraday chart, I knew we had Thursday's high just 29 cents above. It ended up going to 16. I'd given the idea, but I did not. Again, I watched it in real time, and I still didn't have the nerve to trade it. So now what do we have? We got to stock this up 3 days in a row since the IPO. I still call it, just because it's recent like that, it's a recent IPO, I call it in play, but it's also extended, so we'll see. It goes on a chart, it goes on a chart no matter what. INDO, because of the Middle East, the baby oil and gas plays got some big volume on Friday. Again, talked about the call I made in INDO. So anyway, you can see that big volume, that big push, closing off its highs. No idea what to expect on Monday, but it goes on a chart. PRZO, already talked about that one too. It's looking pretty strong. So that one goes on a chart. Again, related to Israel, by the way, so we'll see. You never know what's going to happen. DJT, after that intraday bounce that we called on Friday, could continue, right? You've got that where it took out these recent lows, but it had come so far, so fast to get there. I had said that's one of my favorite setups for a snapback bounce. It's exactly what we got, and this bounce from Friday could certainly continue on Monday. So that makes the watch list. HUSA, just like INDO, baby oil stock that I'm going to watch. DXYZ, probably my favorite going into tomorrow. A recent IPO that just went absolutely ballistic. And now we're down a few days and all the way down in the 20s. And this was 105 5 sessions ago. Treating it like a bounce play, and it will be my top watch for a bounce play. You people in chat know what we look for on bounce play. So if it meets some of those parameters, I will be taking a position, right? I'll take a trade if it gives me a setup. CGC, just another red day. Did touch the 20-day now, pot stock. We'll see what happens there, but it goes back on bounce watch. PLAY is just, I don't know, kind of after the gap up, I think, right here on earnings, it's just fallen apart ever since and getting kind of fast to the downside on volume on Friday. So again, kind of a recipe. And by the way, this high back here, it's kind of, I put the horizontal line there, it's kind of retesting that high, right? So we'll see. It's kind of a decent recipe for a snapback bounce, so it goes on the list. RLYB had the gap up, I think, on a collaboration with Johnson & Johnson. Pretty big news for a stock that was, whatever, $1.60 something, right? Now you've got 2 red days in a row, so I am going to treat this like a bounce play, looking for a turn back up on Monday, only with the setup that we look for. And lastly, I don't have a very long list going into Monday. BSGM had a really nice 2.5 day run. Now we've got a couple days lower on declining volume. So I'm going to treat that like a bounce play. As always, we will add gappers to this list together in the pre-market. And then let's really focus this week and not miss any A+ setups. If you see something, say something, and I'll do the same. Have a good, well, I was going to say have a good weekend. It's pretty much over. We'll see you on Monday.